Well, who else has misunderstood the nature of their job at Westminster in the last couple of weeks?
Nick Clegg?
It's been more than the last few weeks, hasn't it?
Ken Clarke.
Thank you. He said he doesn't know what his new government job is, describing his role of Minister without portfolio as being particularly mysterious and baffling. Or as you would say, Nigel...
Baffling.
In stark contrast to the glitzy showbiz razzmatazz of US politics, one of Britain's leading political figures, Nadine Dorries, is going on "I'm a celebrity, get me out of here." Nadine Dorries justified her decision to appear, saying, "The important thing is 16 million people watch the show." Quite. Why do you think I'm doing this show? Sorry. Is that all? Well, including the repeat. Embarrassing. Nadine, after the Tory party suspended Nadine, known to the tabloids as Mad Nad, The Sun reported Ms Dorries may join UKIP. Oh, come on, she may be mad, but she's not insane. When told of Nadine Dorries' TV plans, Paul Duckett, chairman of her Mid-Bedfordshire constituency, declared, "I can think of better ways of spending my time than sitting in a swamp with a bucket of maggots on my head." Maybe, but being constituency chairman of the Mid-Bedfordshire Conservative Association probably isn't one of them. And so to round two, the strengthometer of news.
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Yep. UKIP's now going to start campaigning across the whole of Europe, and that's what that flag means.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Who do you think you're kidding, Mr Farrar?
Yeah, well, there you are.
This is the news that Britain has invaded 90% of the world's nations, says author Stuart Laycock, who's written a book claiming that Britain has invaded 171 out of a possible 193 countries. Why is this statistic a little questionable?
It was made up.
Because Laycock has allowed for it to include anywhere the British achieved a military presence. Through force, negotiation or payment, as well as incursions by any pirates operating with the approval of their government. There are a few countries unlucky enough never to have enjoyed a British invasion. Sweden, the Marshall Islands. I don't know where they are.
Well, that's why they've never been invaded.
They're in the south.
Nigel, UKIP for or against invading other countries on the whole? If you had to, though.
Yeah, we had to.
Who'd be top of your list?
It's got to be Belgium. It's pretty much a non-country, and we might do it a favour.
Give it a third language.
Do you know, whenever I say that, I get into terrible trouble. I can't think why.
It's all right, this is just a co-production with a Belgian company. The author estimates that Britain has invaded 171 countries, only 3 less than Prince Philip has insulted. The book claims that we even invaded Vietnam in the 1600s, so the Americans were late joining that one as well. Right, fingers on buzzers, please,
Yeah.
teams.
Judging by the sort of speech bubble there, is it something to do with sort of Midlands accents are harder to understand than any other accent?
And there's a particular irony to this answer.
It's hard to understand your accent.
Do you think so?
No, I'm just saying that would be the irony.
Oh, I see, yes, indeed, absolutely.
You two are a brilliant team. This is teamwork. It's teamwork.
I don't understand what I'm saying.
This is the news that an £11 million phone service at Birmingham City Council is sending callers mad because it can't understand Brummie accents. According to The Sun, it demands an account reference number, yet cannot cope with numbers such as 5, 7.
They don't all make that face when they're talking.
And 9. Apparently, users have tried for up to half an hour just to get past the first question. Wonder why. What does the machine do when it doesn't understand?
It electrocutes the applicant.
It apparently continuously says, "Can you please repeat?" The system is actually installed in the rent arrears department. According to The Telegraph, it meant the council were able to cut the jobs of 55 call centre staff who, ironically, are all now behind with their rent and have to speak to the very machine that put them out of a job. Time now for the odd one out round,
Yes.
Paul and Harry. Your four are Vern Troyer, President William Howard Taft, Gordon Brown and Stuart Roger.
I have no idea. Any clues?
They all got stuck. Gordon Brown, he got stuck in number 10. For God, it took years to get him out.
They tried greasing him and everything. They could have tried to get through the door.
Get him out.
They all got stuck
In lifts.
in the...
Bog.
Yes, bathroom.
Bathroom.
Apart from Stuart Roger, who
Yes.
deliberately hid in the toilet for an hour in order to heckle David Cameron. He burst into a room where Cameron was talking, and he shouted,
Yeah.
no ifs, no buts, no public sector cuts. Spend an hour in the toilet, you'd think you'd come up with something better than that. He's got 100 hours community service heckling Michael McIntyre.
Tell us about William Taft, then. President Taft. What did he do?
He was President of the United States.
Yeah.
Have a quick guess what number he was.
Yeah, no, he was 27. It's not all right. Not all right, is it? No.
Yeah, he's the 27th President of the United States.
I'm taking you to the track.
He once got himself stuck in the presidential bathtub. He was the heaviest ever president, weighing in at a whopping 21 stone.
Yeah.
6 men apparently dislodged him with a gallon of butter. Not to grease the sides, just to lure him out. Taft is a one-term president, and that term was fatso. This year, Vern Troyer got stuck in an aeroplane toilet, and Gordon Brown once locked himself in a toilet and had to be freed by his arch-nemesis, Tony Blair.
After a year.
According to Blair, the phone rang. Gordon left a message on the answering machine saying, Tony, it's Gordon here. Can you let me out of the toilet? Brown was stuck in the toilet for 15 minutes, an embarrassing episode. But on the plus side, that was when he first had a go at quantitative easing. Ian and Nigel, here are yours. Cyclops, Xi Jinping, Osama bin Laden and Fred Flintstone.
I think this is about caves, because the Cyclops lived in a cave when Odysseus and co came in. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave. Fred Flintstone had a very nice cave with, you know, all the mod cons and everything in it. And the new leader of China doesn't live in a cave.
Yes.
That's not a great answer.
I reckon you're pretty good at this.
You've got a very low bar.
No, that's brilliant.
They've all lived in a cave,
Brilliant.
except for Fred Flintstone, who lived in a stone house with all mod cons. Talking of the Flintstones,
Yes.
Fred and Wilma's private life expanded US social boundaries in the 60s. Why?
You can now sleep with cartoons.
They were the first couple to be shown in bed together on primetime TV.
Before that, they had to be in single beds next to each other.
Right.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, and Wilma was a crack whore. Osama bin Laden was reported to have lived in a cave in Afghanistan. What did we learn recently about his beard?
Was dying.
It was 15 very specially trained swallows.
He dyed it. That's absolutely right. He dyed it,
Yeah,
according
he
to
dyed
a
it.
member of the Navy SEALs, Mark Owen. What else was Mark surprised about after looking through Osama's belongings?
There was a box set of The Wire.
He was surprised by how tidily bin Laden kept his clothes.
Not all bad, then.
Xi Jinping, China's next leader, we can be fairly certain, once lived in a cave when his father was arrested during the Cultural Revolution. What will he get to control once he's running China?
He gets to control the world.
According to The Guardian, the world's largest armed forces...
And I think they're the biggest economy now, aren't they? They've just overtaken America in terms of...
That's fighting words, mister.
They've all lived in a cave, except Fred Flintstone. After Odysseus' men sneak into the Cyclops' cave and steal his sheep, the giant eats 2 men after killing them by removing their brains. And that, according to the government's anti-burglar guidelines, is proportionate force. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication the Society for Clay Pipe Research newsletter.
Fantastic. I get this every month.
And we start with only a few pipe makers were able to tear themselves away from the misery of what?
Self-abuse. It fits.
Pipe making.
Same thing.
Away from the misery of pipe making. This is from the Society for Clay Pipe Research newsletter, which covers topics like the economic conditions for pipe makers in early 19th century Holland. And it still achieves a bigger circulation than the UKIP newsletter. Next, why not use your baby to what?
Feed the poor.
It rhymes with that. Clean the floor.
Clean
is
the
actually
floor.
the answer.
Yeah, they don't do anything, children. Get
This
them
is an
working.
invention that uses your baby to clean floors. There's also a full-size version for husbands who come home drunk. Next, Prince Charles, I'm a what?
No, this is him using pigeon. I think it's I'm a #1 pickaninny belong Missy Queen. What he actually said.
Few sausages short of a Barbie. Prince Charles is on
They
tour
did say
down
that.
under. Whilst on walkabout, he wore a traditional Australian bushman's hat. It was a present from his sons. William donated the hat, and Harry provided all the corks. Next, taxpayers' £10,000 bill
Snake.
to stuff Haig's what?
Snake. It's definitely snake. You've got an antique snake, and we've paid £10,000 to have it restuffed.
Snake
Snake.
is the correct
Correct
answer.
answer.
This
Well, I've been saying it. I've been saying nothing else but snake all night.
This is the 100-year-old anaconda in William Hague's department at the Foreign Office. A spokesman explained no significant maintenance has been carried out on him in the last 40 to 50 years, adding that the snake is in even worse condition. And finally, offensive Morris dancers what?
Revealed as Iran's secret weapon.
Told to move on by police.
Yeah, exactly.
The lead Morris man delivered his most energetic dance performance ever, seconds after being tasered. So the final scores are tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ian and Nigel have 5. Harry and Paul have 7. Just before we go, there's time for the caption competition. Ian and Nigel have this.
Ah, Lord Black, nice of you to come.
Paul and Harry get that.
David Cameron warns against gay backlash.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Nigel Farage, Paul Merton and Harry Shearer. And I leave you with the news that, in Chicago, one man begins to regret answering yes when his wife asks, does my bum look big in this? On a tour of Papua New Guinea, Prince Charles finalises his evening plans with his most senior aide. And after his narrow victory, President Obama rings Mitt Romney to offer his heartfelt commiserations. Good night.